Hello, book friends, and welcome back to All the Things Sort of Truth, the alcohol-fueled chapter-by-chapter reread of the Sort of Truth series with craft beer on the side for dealing with those pesky surprises and tough life decisions.
I mean, that's how I deal with it.
I'm sure that's healthy. I'm Nate.
And I'm Jade.
And today we're going to be talking about Chapter 9 of Stone of Tears.
So before we get into the chapter, I just wanted to talk to you guys about how we definitely promised you guys at least one live episode a month. So we are going to be doing that. That's going to be on Wednesday, the 24th of June, 2020, if you're keeping track of the year. 6 p.m., we are going to be live as close to 6 p.m. as possible because we are definitely awesome at timing.
Yeah.
And we will be discussing Chapter 11 of Stone of Tears.
I also want to add in there that we've been listening, and we know that there's actually a bunch of you listening in the UK, and that at least some of you are interested in being there for a live episode, but we're like 5 hours different. So we have decided that eventually we're going to do like a weekend midday episode that's live so we can get everybody, or at least as many people as possible, live on the podcast with us. Because we have so much fun doing them, and we don't want anybody to be left out.
We are going to be trying to, like we said, do this once a month, and I'm going to be trying to schedule these out a little bit better so that I can tell you guys a lot further in advance. Our recording schedule makes it a little bit difficult to know which chapters we're going to be doing on which days, and so that's what's led to the little bit of delay in letting you guys know, but I want to put it out there as soon as possible so you can schedule it and be there with us.
Yeah. I mean, because we want you there with us. If we go live and no one's there, it's sad, frankly.
Then it's just us, and who wants to listen to just us?
Then we're just doing this. Except we can't edit, so, that's no good.
I mean, we never edit our audio.
Ultimately, nobody's going to be there to call 2319, and that's just a shame.
Yes. But that's all we had to talk about, so we can get right into the chapter.
All right. Well, Kahlan's immediate response to the sisters showing up is to run the fuck away. Not a good sign. Richard, I'm sure, is taking cues from her, so...
Yeah, he's like, okay, so you're not thrilled. They decide that they're going to go meet them alone. They aren't going to bring anybody with them. But on the way, Richard stops and demands Kahlan fill him in. Since, I know that you're upset, okay?
Yeah, I saw that. Don't hide that. You freaked out. No, big red flag. You have to come alone. Don't bring anybody with you. No guns. Like, what?
Well, also, I feel like Kahlan has a history of keeping some pretty big secrets from Richard that, are kind of important for him to know.
Yeah.
So, I don't blame him for being like, hey, spill the beans. I know you know some shit.
I mean, here in just a little bit, she does get outed a little. She realizes that Richard was sleeping with his eyes open. And then later when he's like, I don't do that, she finally goes, well, actually, you do. But she did know, and then when she started talking to him, she neglected to say anything.
Yeah.
Not that that was really something that had to be told to him. We all know it's definitely not the most important thing that she's kept from him, but it was something that she just chooses not to tell him things, and it's weird.
Yeah. I mean, she didn't tell him the Darken thing either. Of course, they haven't gotten a lot of time.
That's true. Just mention that in passing. I think what we need to do is go up this trail here and you look just like Dark and Rawl, and then we can go the other way and then get the thing that we're after in this made up story.
Hey, by the way, he made you question your parentage and you murdered him. So that's going to make you feel real great, right? So Kahlan has to explain to him how she knows anything, or what she knows, basically, about the Sisters of Light. Giller once told her that he didn't want the gift. He was happy he had the calling, because if he had the gift, he would have had to go to the Sisters of Light, and he was terrified of them.
Well, we know that Zed has told Richard about a test of pain, and we don't really know anything about it. I know that with my first read through of this book, I figured that these were the ladies that gave the pain.
Okay. You're like way more like I don't think my brain. I know on my first read through of this book, I was so fresh to this book, I had no fucking idea what was going on.
It was just a whole nother thing. Yeah, no, I assumed that these were the people that Zed was telling Richard about. Like, hey, you got to go through some tests and shit before we can call you full on wizard. So, and then these three ladies show up. Like, it just made sense to me.
Giller didn't tell her anything else about the sisters, though. He wouldn't say anything else because he was so fucking scared of them. All she knows is that they're not from the Midlands.
Which makes sense, because when Verna, I think it was, tells Kahlan that, hey, we're from Tanamura, she's like, I don't know where the fuck that is, and I know where everywhere is. So, she offers no kind of explanation, like, this is in the old world. She's just like, well, that's where I'm from, so.
Yeah. She's like, sorry, get new maps?
Right.
Richard is upset because we're back to the fucking gift, and he is still insisting that he does not have it. But last chapter, he was literally saying that he was using the gift. So I feel like the headaches are kind of affecting his, like, reasoning right now.
Yeah, he half admitted it in the last chapter. It's like, okay, if this person is showing up saying, it's official, we have you on record, you're a fucking wizard, Harry. I'm sorry, Richard. You almost got there yourself. Here's somebody else with even more proof telling you what you are. Just accept it, dude. Maybe you got magic.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't want to be a wizard. Fine, but you still have it. You don't have to use it.
Yeah. Quit being so bullheaded. Kahlan tries to get him to run again. She's like, all right, you know what? Fuck this. Let's just go. Okay? We don't need to deal with it. We don't need to deal with it.
We can just run away.
We just go. But Richard is like, no, we're gonna meet the threat on my terms, and that's the best way to deal with it. So that's how we're gonna do it.
Yeah, we took on Dark and Raw. We didn't run then. We're sure shit not gonna run from three women.
And he tries to tell her that she's not coming with him to meet them. And Kahlan's like, nope. Here's my PG card. That's my psycho girlfriend card, in case you didn't know. I'm going.
Is that a thing?
I think it is. I feel like if you have one, you know it is.
That's true. No, I'm cool with that. I never heard it said out loud like that.
Well, it's not something you normally talk about.
Well, and here's a nod to your misogyny claim from the last episode. You were like, Richard's always telling Kahlan, no, go over there, stay here, go back over there.
Make me a sandwich.
He does it again. He's like, no, you're not coming with me. I'm doing this thing alone. She's like, fuck, I am. Do you have rope? Because it's going to take rope.
Yeah. You want to tie me up? We're back to the S&M stuff.
I know the look that Kahlan's giving Richard right now. Her foot's down. Dude, her foot's down.
Yeah. You're not going to win.
No, you're not going to back. She could be like Jade. She's 5'3" and every bit of a pit bull when she's like, this is what is happening. Just accept that, because that's what's going to happen.
Because there's literally no other way.
No. There's not even the highway. She has that too.
Well, it's the right way. Like,
I won't dispute that.
But neither does Richard, and he gives in. He's like, okay, fine. Let's just take care of it, okay? They enter the spirit house to see the sisters, and they're all standing creepy in the middle of the room with their hoods up, which I hate. Don't do that. Take your hood down.
It's just for dramatic effect.
Yeah.
Here, meet these strangers. Let's all look as scary as possible when they come in their room. Hide our faces and shit so they think it's the Grim Reaper.
For real. Just be people. How about that? One of the sisters assumes that they are Richard's parents, and are quickly corrected by an angry seeker.
When he corrects her, he says, no, my parents are dead. And then he's like, my mom when I was little, and my dad just this past summer. It was weird to me. Like, again, we've talked about it. Don't give them any more information than they need.
Yeah, why? Why would you do that?
Keep her talking. Try and find out, which is what he's doing. Find out what she's getting to before you give her any information. But I feel like that was a lot right off the bat, dude.
Yeah, legit. All you had to be like is, no.
Yeah, I'm Richard. Do you want my social security number too? No, put that away.
Well, they immediately say that he's too old. And he's like, I'm not as old as you are, bitches.
Bitch!
That made them change their tunes like right away. And they introduced themselves all proper and shit now. They're like, oh, sorry.
Yeah, but not to Kahlan.
No.
They're just like, hey, what's up to Kahlan? And Kahlan uses this opportunity to lay down the law. She's like, actually, I'm the mother confessor, truth bomb number 1. And second, when you're greeting the mother confessor, you get down on a bended knee and you give me my
due.
Yeah. And then when they do it, because they really don't want to start a fight, she waits extra long for them to get back up. And then she calls them child, like she was just called.
Yeah. Well, and I also loved that when they hesitated, Richard pulled the sword like, no.
If they were listening, they would have heard me talk about what happens when Jade's foot is all the way down. Just do it. Just get down on the knee and be like, hey, mother confessor, it's worth it. That's why the sword came out. And he's like, don't. Just don't.
Just don't. If you piss her off, I'm going to have to step in and fucking kill you, because if she kills you, this is going to be a whole different situation right now.
Yeah, you guys haven't seen it yet, but she does this lightning thing that's pretty fucking scary.
We don't want to set the thatched roofs on fire, so I'm going to need you to calm my girlfriend down.
So, because everybody's very tense, especially Richard with the sword out, Verna tells him to just chillax. And his response is very intense. I'm the seeker. I have no chill mode. It is extreme or sleeping. And even that I do staring angrily at the wall, apparently, with my eyes open.
Now, yeah.
Also, I'll cut a bitch if I have to, man or woman. He makes a specific point to say, I don't care. I'll kill a woman. He's not hitting a woman, right? But like if the I'm not saying he would hit a woman. I'm just saying there's a difference there. You're not just going to hit a woman for attacking you. But if somebody's trying to kill you, yeah, fuck yeah.
Well, I mean, Richard apparently, I think, has like transcended that line at this point. He's like, I'll shove you. I'll cut you. I don't give a fuck.
Well, he does shove Kahlan a couple of times.
He's like, fuck around and find out.
Fuck around and find out. Will he? Won't he? Are you sure? The sister claims, hey, we're just here to help with your gift. Immediately, Richard tries to shut this whole fucking argument down and just dismiss him. He's like, you have mistaken me. I'm not that dude. I also don't have the gift. And if I did have the gift, I wouldn't fucking want it. So, sorry, you wasted your time. You can go. Doors on the wall. Peace out.
And after he's dismissed them so succinctly, he's leaving, and Elizabeth starts listing off all the shit that has been going on with him.
Yeah, he's looking the other way. I could picture Richard with his hand on his hips and his head sagging down like, shit, I did that.
And it reminded me of the Harry Potter moment that you mentioned earlier, the whole Harry, you are a wizard.
You're a wizard, Harry.
Because Hagrid is like, do you ever do things that you don't mean to do and they just happen? And I was like, yeah, that's what Elizabeth is doing to Richard right now.
You know what just happened? Terry Goodkind is fully absolved from borrowing from anybody else's story because somebody quite clearly had borrowed from him. Just saying.
Do we need to put more controversy on J.K. Rowling right now?
I mean, yeah, sure. I'm up for a fight. Why not?
I'm just saying.
Is that what you want to do today, Jade? You want to fight?
I don't feel like anyone's going to be fighting very hard for her right now.
No.
So after Elizabeth lists all this shit off, she tells him that the headaches are going to kill him if he doesn't take the help. And Kahlan is like, hey, we should probably fucking listen, right?
Yeah, that's actually a thing you said. So maybe you really weren't kidding about that whole I think I'm going to die from the headache thing. I don't know if these people are doctors, but they seem to know something about it. So let's listen. At the very least, let's listen.
Like, totally. I was totally not really caring that much last night